Hi, April. Happy Latinx Hispanic Heritage Month. Thanks for joining us today.
Hello, I'm so excited to be here today with you, Christina.
Thank you. So I'd love to hear a little bit more about yourself, your background, and your journey.
Oh, well, wonderful. My name is April Danile, as Christina stated, and I am the Senior Vice President of Customer Success and Account Management here at Bluevine. And I started my journey as a collections representative, helping customers who were unable to repay balances on their credit cards. And when I started my journey, I had no idea that I would build a career in financial services. However, there were three things that happened early on in my career that really helped lead me to where I am today. First was my experience working with customers who were struggling to make ends meet and manage their overall finances. That sparked a passion for me in helping others improve or simplify their financial lives. And then second, I truly benefited and was inspired by great leaders and mentors. For example, the first leader I ever had, Ishmael Nieto, was absolutely instrumental and the reason I am where I am today. He saw more in me than I saw in myself and took time to invest in me and in my development, which ignited a fire in me and really sent me on a quest to figure out how I could be a leader and how I could give back and help others the way he helped me. And then really lastly, the combined impact of these two events sparked a passion within me for investing in others and delivering great customer experiences. I had the benefit of learning early on that the best way to help others is to create experiences that deliver meaningful and lasting value.
It's really great to hear. And you give others a lot of credit, but you've really achieved some amazing success in your career within large enterprises and here within Bluevine, which though we've been in existence for 9 years, is still, privately owned and a startup. So what would you say is your secret to success?
My secret to success, I'd say the first one starts with owning my development. I consistently ask myself, how do I become the best, version of myself in this role? And I recognized another important element is that delivering results is absolutely critical. It's paramount. But what's even more important is delivering results with integrity. And then, yes, and then really learning, that feedback is truly a gift. And in order to maximize the gift of feedback, you have to learn how to ingest, digest, and act on feedback. And then recognizing that all learning equals growth. And that really, I've had a lot of setbacks along my journey. And at first I didn't recognize what they were, but looking back, I now know that those setbacks were simply what I call setups for future success. And then when looking at and building teams, one of the things that I think is so important is this perspective that I call shared values, different strengths. It's really the secret to building like impactful and high performing teams. And, having a great mentor and then also seeking out the opportunity to give back and mentor others because you learn in both scenarios.
Gosh, the thing that really stuck with me there, April, is feedback, which I feel like is something that I didn't learn early enough in my career. So something that is really helpful to hear from you as one of your keys to your success. Well, switching gears a little bit to talk about really why we're here today, which is Hispanic and Latina women. They make up just 1.6% of senior executives in the largest companies, yet also make up the largest minority group in all of the US. So as a Latina, did you ever encounter obstacles in the business world? And if you could share a little bit of how you overcame them.
Sure. And, there were so many, and I really, really want to highlight maybe a couple that, may resonate with others. And one that truly impacted me was thinking that my results would speak for themselves and not understanding how to, in a way that was truly authentic, help others understand the impact of my actions or those for the teams I led or the people or the groups that I worked with. And that was really impactful for quite some time. And over, throughout the course of my career, once I recognized that that was impactful, I really had to think about, how do I learn how to do that? I use the word authentically. How
Mm,
do I share the impact of my results or the impact of the teams that I'm working with in a way that aligns with my personal values and guiding principles, such that, others can understand the impact, and hopefully those results could be, replicated, or others could learn from them, so as a company we could benefit from them. It was really hard for me
mhm,
in the beginning and early stages of my career to learn how to thoughtfully do that.
mhm, mhm,
And I would say maybe one other that may, resonate with others is lack of direct feedback. It's really hard when you don't recognize that you have a blind spot. The only way that you can work through that is through awareness. So just as I spoke about earlier, learning how, to handle feedback, I think it's also really important to know and to recognize that feedback can be hard to give and receive. And therefore, one of the things that I really invested in working with mentors and others is learning how to seek feedback and create a safe space for others to provide me with feedback. And then, most importantly, acting on that feedback. And what I learned is that when people know how much you care, they become invested in your journey. And that creates really powerful momentum.
mhm. Yeah, it's a really good point. Well, as a Latina in leadership and in our industry of fintech, you can certainly appreciate the importance of diversity and representation. So, can you give us some thoughts on the importance of diversity and what that means to you?
Absolutely. Representation means to me that when I see people who look like me or who are similar to me, the possibility, it brings forth for me the art of the possible. And that's immediately unlocked, and dreams are uncapped. And when I think about diversity, to me, that equals strength. And when we understand and appreciate and leverage the strengths of others around us, the reach of our impact to me is limitless.
It's really inspiring. Thanks for leaving us with that. There's one more question I have. You gave us a ton of advice throughout this interview, but for aspiring future Latina leaders, is there anything you want to leave them with? What advice would you give?
One of the things that I think is really important early on is understanding and defining your values and your guiding principles, and holding tight to those and letting those help guide your journey. So, for example, when you're seeking out or evaluating opportunities, look for leaders or companies that align with your values and principles. Because when you find the right opportunity and you can bring your complete self to work, the impact for you and others, I believe, is quite remarkable.
It's a really great place for us to end this interview. And again, thank you so much for spending the time with us today, sharing some great advice and experiences, and hopefully inspiring some Latina women of the future. So take care, and happy Latinx Hispanic Heritage Month.
Happy Latinx Hispanic Heritage Month to you. And thank you so much for the wonderful opportunity, Christina.
Thanks, April. Take care.
Take care.